So yeah, morning everyone. Thanks very much for joining us in this webinar session where we're going to give you a little bit of information to help you along your way with your marketing and communication strategies. Stuart, have you got anything to say before I dive in?
Yeah, so morning everyone. My name's Stuart. I'm co-founder of Eastern Energy and also the managing director of Smart Digital. This is episode 4, I believe, of our digital series. Um, we have Buzz Langdon with us today, who's gonna run through his how he utilizes AI to help him with his content thought process. So this should be a really good webinar. Really excited to kind of hear from Buzz from all of his wealth of experience. So yeah, Buzz, let's take it away.
Great. Yeah, thanks for the intro. So yeah, Buzz Langton. I've got a agency called One Create Agency. We're a production company. We localize. We produce content, written, visual. I'll give you a pretty good idea. And we also publish a magazine, and we're just in the throes of putting a podcast together. So today's our second recording, happening a bit later. So it's all very exciting at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to share some information with you, and I hope it will help everyone create a bit more space and bandwidth in their lives, because if you're running an SME, you probably don't have much time. So let's dive in. So welcome everyone. Little fact here. Did you know, it's a surprising fact that B2B buyers really check you out up to and around 27 times. So they could be jumping on your website, looking at social media. You know, it might have been sparked off by a lead gen email, and they're back and forth a lot. Now, what they're looking for is confidence to buy into your brand, into your business. So there's various ways that one can go about that, but what we're looking at today is a way to do it that's cost effective. It's almost like guerrilla marketing, but it's actually a very key necessity in this day and age to um, have this. So let's just go through what's going to be um, covered today. So it's a content communication strategy, and what we're trying to do is get your potential customer to get off that fence and go, yes, I'm going to work with you. Now, for doing that, you need brand recognition, you need brand confidence, you need mental availability, provenance, and regular creative media hitting the platforms that they live on or visit. Now, I think what we should do is we should look at the phrase mental availability. Now, if you're au fait with advertising, you'll know this, but it's not an everyday used phrase. Now, mental availability is very important. I'll give you a few examples. When you're driving down the road and you see that big McDonald's sign, it's not to make you go into McDonald's right there and go and buy a Big Mac. It's basically putting that image of McDonald's into your subconscious. And by doing so, when you actually are hungry, that will trigger that mental availability, that fact that they've just been subconsciously putting images and branding into your head. And it's the same thing, you know, you need some caffeine, you're probably going to think of Starbucks because of that logo. They're out there everywhere. It's no surprise that there are so many branches. A lot of them are lost leaders, but it's all about the mental availability to develop that brand and make you buy into it when you want a coffee. So, you know, there's other brands sitting out there, but they're not as competitive as, say, Starbucks. So it's very important that decision makers have your business brand, you know, very central in their mind when they come to think about doing business with you. So what you need to do is create strong memory associations. You need to have a very good strategic media presence. It's got to be a multi-platform approach. It's a bit like a spider's web. And by doing that, and you're found everywhere, and I mentioned provenance earlier. Provenance means that you've got to do it regularly. You've got to have consistent posting from now going forward. So when people jump onto LinkedIn or Instagram or X or wherever you are, they can find your past posts. It breeds a sense of confidence. It gives you a sense of gravitas to your brand. And by doing that, you're going to have a better chance of getting your client to get off the fence and go with you and not with your competitor. Right, so let's jump in. So I don't know if any of you know of this particular platform. It's called Substack. Now, Substack's very interesting. It can be used as your content hub. It's a free platform. It's very, very easy to use. And by doing so, you can create a blog, a newsletter, and from that platform, you can send it off into different platforms with one click. You can add a various level of email, all your email contacts in there, and you can stay in contact with your clients in a less salesy manner by creating interesting informational newsletters or blogs. And from those, I'm going to show you a workflow in a minute of how you can take this newsletter or blog and then repurpose for all the different other platforms that you're on social media. And we're going to use AI to speed things up because, a lot of you won't have the bandwidth to sit there and go, Buzz, I don't have time to sit there and write loads of blogs every day. I haven't got time to, send it out to lots and lots of different social media platforms. And I totally get you because I've been in that situation too. So has so many other of our colleagues, in the SME world, regardless of what vertical or business that you're in. We need to keep our posts consistent. And it doesn't have to be every day, sort of 1 or 2 a week would probably suffice. So let's have a look at Substack. So as I've got on this slide here, it's very easy to use. It's one-click publishing, newsletter or a blog platform. You've got automatic social sharing going out to create core content. You can share instantaneously. And the good thing about this is if you build it up over time, you're going to get people outside of your circle finding you, and you can actually monetize this platform as well. So you can get people to buy in, you can have a subscription wall there. So there's lots of interesting other side lines going on this. So let me show you what I can do with Substack. So bear with me a second. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to look at Claude. Yeah, everyone see that? Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
all good, Buzz, all good.
Great. Okay. So there's lots of different AI tools. These are large language models, and basically they've been trained through inordinate amounts of data and then given certain algorithms on which to give you the best information depending on what genre. So you'll know ChatGPT, you've probably heard of Claude, and there's a bunch of other ones that are out there. But for today, we're going to look at Claude and we're going to look at this here, which is Substack. Now, I've already used Claude to create some information here. Basically, this is a Claude written blog post on your B2B brand's hidden growth engine. Now, the copy that you can see in bold, that's where I've gone in and I've actually edited, added, and made it my voice, not Claude's. Now, it's very important that when you use any kind of AI engine, that you do add your tone to the actual post by just doing, a 5 or 10 minute run over, make sure it's got your tone of voice. The other thing that I would like to point out, Stuart Pollington and I were at the British the British Embassy's AI week, and they have flown over Downing Street. Now, Downing Street's, the seat of the Prime Minister back in the UK. Their data science team, they're called Attendees, and they came over and they verified that AI hallucinates. AI creates synthetic data, which means it is BS. So it's really important that you fact check anything that comes out of AI. And by doing that, you can obviously, you can go to Google, you can use Perplexity, which is grabbing data across the internet and verifying it. So make sure that you do verify anything that you're about to publish, because you're going to come up with some interesting data which may not be realistic, and you don't want to damage your brand just in case someone goes, hang on, that's not true. So that's very, very important. Right, so this has been pre-written, ready for you guys to see how easy it is. So I've just copied and pasted this in. You can do things here like you can go to buttons and you can go like subscribe. You can add another button up here. You can put pictures in. You can add video, you can add audio. So it's really interesting. You can put all sorts of media on there. You can share the publication. So we're just going to go over here to continue. So I'm just going to go everyone. You can add some tags in there. And then away you go. Send to everyone now. Right, that's publishing. And then you've got these buttons here. So you can copy the link. You can send it off to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, as you wish. Then you can download the assets, and you can use those assets on, other social media platforms as you wish. So it's a very, very useful tool. I'd like to say that if you're going to start a media campaign, start it here. It's a great repository. You can go back, take pieces out, you can share it. And as you can see, this menu at the top, you've got podcasts, you've got chat, you've got subscribers, stats, home. You've got all sorts of things going on here, which are very, very interesting. But this is where you start. Okay, this is where you start. So I just want to show you that. Right. Next, let's have a look at Claude.
So Buzz, just very quickly with Substack, that's a free platform, isn't it?
Yeah, that's completely free. It's probably one of the best platforms out there at the moment. Some of you probably know a platform called Medium. Now, Medium was great when it started. I really hope that Substack doesn't go down the same road and start charging you to read. A lot of people have jumped on here. There's all sorts of different genres. So it's a great place for actually reading and seeing what's going on. That, as I said, there's many genres. You've got like John Cleese from Monty Python. He's on there writing every day. There's all sorts of people on there, and it's a great platform, a brilliant utility. So, have you got any other questions there, Stu?
No, so you're going to take us through the process anyway, aren't you, in a sec with the content and everything, and then you're using Substack to put that together and then kind of send it out to push it out to all the
Yeah,
platforms, yeah?
it's exactly. So let's just show you what I do with Claude.
Cool.
So, okay, Claude has a free a free platform, but I pay $20 a month because it kind of gives you X amount of data, and then it says come back again at 3 o'clock, which is a real pain when you're trying to get a project out. So I can put in a simple prompt such as this here: Claude, create a detailed blog post and mental availability in B2B marketing, focusing on practical implementation for SMEs, includes statistics and examples. And this is what it puts out. Now you can take parts of that or all of it. As I said, do verify some of the stats that it gives you, but Claude's one of the better AIs. I believe in this one. Claude's very much an editorial assistant. So you can ask it questions and it'll give you some feedback. So you can say, what do you think of this headline? What do you think of this subject idea? What do you think of this? And it'll give you some feedback, and then you can write something and you can put it back in and go, okay, great. Can you just check my grammar and my spelling on this? And it does. So from that point of view, I use this as an editor, and I use it as if there's someone in the room that I can talk to about an idea, because it's incredibly intuitive and very, very clever. So looking at what it's given me over here, you'll see it's given me, I've asked it a second question, just jumping forward a bit. I've asked it to jump into 5 slides, 5 LinkedIn carousel slides to create those for me. And here you go, it's just created the slides. So you've got your headline, and then you've got a subheader, and then a bit of information for each slide. Now that's just absolutely wonderful. So from that, we can start our creative media output. So we've got our newsletter or blog, and we can send that out. Okay, and we can put that on various platforms. But okay, let's think about LinkedIn. LinkedIn's quite important, I think, for most business people. You know, this is where we like to show up and tell people what we're doing and how we can help them in business. So that's very, very important. So what I suggest with LinkedIn is to give people information in which will be of use and help for them in their business, rather than sort of being salesy. I think we all know that already. Sort of direct sales pitching across LinkedIn is a bit of a no-no these days. So do that. What I'm going to show you now is some slides that I've created in Canva. Again, Canva is a free platform, but it also has a subscription for some of the more professional pro elements that they call. So you get more pictures, you get more fonts, you get more access to different design elements and facets. You can use the basic version, and it's very, very adequate. Again, it's very intuitive. It's probably one of the best platforms there are. I think probably most of us have used them. If you haven't, do jump on it. It's just phenomenal. Back in the day, you'd be using like Adobe Illustrator, and you would really need to know your mustard to get around that one. But this has made it accessible to absolutely everyone. So it's beautiful. So let's have a look at what I've taken from here. As you can see, these slides here, and then I'll just drag this page over and you can see my Canva account. And I've created in my brand colors a carousel. Now, it's very, very important that when you save this, so you go share here, it'll give you some options. Now, the default's PNG. You want PDF standard for a carousel for LinkedIn. That's the only way the carousel is going to work. You download it as a PDF, and you've got the individual pages here. So I'm going to jump back to the slides. Okay, so guys, sorry, continue playing that. Right. So you've got all your different slides. You've got your carousel already, and you're thinking, oh, do you know what? But I've got an Instagram account. I've got a Facebook account. People are talking about videos. They're talking about reels. So what you want to do is you want to be able to keep repurposing this initial information that has been put out by your AI, your chosen AI. Talking of which, just wanted to show you what I've got here on the different AIs here. So you've got ChatGPT, Excel's and versatile text generation, great for social media posts. So again, if that's your chosen AI, use ChatGPT. Claude's my one. You've got Perplexity. That's where I do my fact checking. So there's a guide that you can get after this webinar, and it's got this information on there for you, so you don't have to take lots of notes. Visual content. Wanted to really mention something about this. I would probably use the visual graphics and images that you can get on Canva rather than using AI. And the reason being is that if you do want to create your own AI images, you use one of these like DALL-E, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, you're going to go down rabbit holes because learning to give the right prompts to get consistent results takes an awful long time. I've got a lot of friends that still work in the art departments of advertising companies in the UK, and I know from their stories how time consuming this is. So just a warning, I'm not saying don't use it, but it's a rabbit warren. So if you can find your images on Canva, do use those. Something else I wanted to tell you about was we're in Thailand. Perhaps some of your clients are Thai, or you're authoring in Thai and you want to translate to English. These are the main platforms that I recommend. Llamas supports 30 different languages. Gwen, 29. Claude and ChatGPT, I've tried them both for English to Thai and Thai to English. As you'll note, I've got a big tip there, always back translate. And that means once you've translated into your target language, you take that and you translate it back to the original and see if it's the same, because of this hallucination and synthetic data issue that can throw up anomalies in the translation using platforms. So I've spent many years working with lots and lots of different global clients who suddenly jumped ship and decided that they would do all their own localization about two and a half, 3 years ago, and they came a cropper because they were expecting 100%, accuracy, and you're just not getting it. It's great for I'll tell you what it is really, really good for. It's really good for e-commerce. So you've got SKU descriptions, like black thin denim jeans. That can be thin black denim jeans, whatever combination of words, you're going to understand the description of that product. Now, as you begin to bring in brand speak, or perhaps you've got technical language, it could be, through HR, could be fintech, could be life sciences, whatever, anything where the importance of the translation for accuracy is number one, then I highly, highly recommend that you have a professional editor, or even better, you go through a professional localization company to get your translations done, such as what we do, because most businesses will want to put a glossary together. It could be, this is basically a document with pre-agreed translations. So using a very simple example, in the UK, we say trousers. In America, they say pants. If that is used in the UK, then that's underwear. So, you'd want to make sure that certain translations were locked down for the cultural and geographic target that they're going to be used in. So that's really important. Just jumping over to the content strategy. So Claude's very good to help you put that strategy together. ChatGPT, really, really good, very fast, great for ideation. And then, of course, Perplexity for market insights. Okay, so I'm just going to jump ahead.
So Buzz, just to jump in quickly, we've had a question. Do you want to?
Yeah.
It was about LinkedIn and
Okay.
posting. I don't know if we want to answer it now or you want to wait to the end.
Is it a short question, short
But yeah,
answer?
it's a question from Jack, and it's do you have any recommendations on LinkedIn posting to make the most of the algorithm, particularly around how many posts per week? So what do you typically kind of try and
Uh,
do?
it ranges. I mean, I know people that post every single day, and I think great, well done to you if you can handle posting every day. I think I'm quite average in terms of being a business owner. I think posting every day to LinkedIn is possible, but it doesn't mean I can then post to the other platforms that I might be on. For for getting good provenance, hitting those algorithms, I think twice a week is enough. Minimum once a week, twice a week is enough. The 3 times a week, probably that sweet spot.
Hmm. Yeah, no, cool. I mean, I'd agree with that. Maybe, yeah, 3, 5 times a week, depending, doesn't it? I think
Yeah.
consistency definitely is more important than volume. And then obviously trying to get regular engagement, isn't it? So making sure that you don't post maybe multiple times a day so that you're spreading that
Yeah.
message out. Making sure that if people are commenting that you are responding quickly and things like that. So I think, yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's 2, 3, 4 times a week could be enough for most companies. It's more about consistency rather than
Yeah.
thinking you've got to
And I
post
think,
every single day.
yeah, I think, and a sort of element of quality over quantity. So, um, I think you can find interesting information to create carousels on. I mean, they vary. I was reading one last night, and the guy had used lots of Greek philosophers, kind of key philosophies, across, I don't know, 14 different carousel slides, and it was a bit too heavy. I think go for slides something about 8 is perfect. Some people have got time to look at that. Um, the other thing that I wanted to quickly just whiz by was here. So once we get to this stage that I've showed you in real time, you can then take your carousel and you can then turn it into an MP4 video for your reel. And this is what I would do. You can then put your carousel on, and then you can also take that same information, those same slides, and turn that into an MP4 video. And then you can upload that to LinkedIn. So you're on the reels, you're also on the post with your carousel. Then you can take that MP4, and I don't know if you've got TikTok, you can put it on TikTok, add some music, put some hashtags on there. Then you can take that and put it out on the other platforms that you're on as a reel. Because obviously, um, in this day and age, the algorithms from a majority of platforms are favoring video content over photographic or static content. So it's important to have a strategy where you've got both of those media types at your fingertips. And you only need to produce it once when you're in Canva, as you can see. And then you just go, okay, so I've saved it as a PDF. Okay, so before PDF, I'm pointing out here, don't save it as a PNG. Save it as a PDF. Come along, save it again as an MP4. And then you're going to end up with a video that looks like this. You can speed it up in Canva if you want. And this is something that you can just upload as a video, and it just, it's a beautiful way of repurposing your content. So you're not making a separate video. I mean, no one's got time to do that. I mean, I shoot videos for a living, but there's no point me spending all my time creating content showing everyone how great I am, when I can't actually do any business because it's just sucked up my time being a content creator, which is all well and good if that's all you do, but if you're actually running a business, supporting other businesses, then you need to utilize your time well, which is what this is all about. Okay, so just a recap here. Core content, create and publish. You've got Claude, you've got Substack. Okay, you can swap out Claude for ChatGPT. Visual design, that's Canva. Repurpose, Canva again, just choose the different media output. You've got your carousels, and then you've got Reels for Instagram, TikTok, and then Facebook Reels if you're on that. Share and engage, and that is your social media taken care of. So obviously I'd like to get some questions from anyone, because it's very difficult to ascertain at what level and what stage people are in their journey with AI, how and what they need to do for their business, what their business needs are. So it'd be a quite good idea just get a few questions. Stu, have you got anything that you'd like to add to this?
No, I mean, I think it would be good to if we could go back and have a look at that. You had that slide, and we kind of jumped in to answer that question. And you I think you had that slide up with the I think it was the language, the translation
Oh yeah.
slides. So
Okay.
maybe, yeah, we came back to how, where was it?
Okay. So
Yeah, with this, because I think this, I think, being in Thailand and
it is very
obviously,
important. No, I agree.
yeah,
It's
running
very,
businesses in Thailand, you've obviously got you got your two audiences, haven't you? You've got,
yeah.
the content we're putting out in English, which is fine. There's some slight differences and nuances between Australian and British and American, etc. But then obviously where we are, and the type of customers and consumers we're trying to target, a lot of content, like for my company, a lot of content we need to produce in English, but we also need to produce it in Thai. So, I think that this would be a good area maybe to chat a little bit more
Yeah,
about, and then
delighted to,
yeah.
delighted to. I think that's a very, very relevant point that you're bringing up, and to focus entirely on English means that we're going to lose out on a lot of potential Thai clients. Now, I can give you some background information on why translation and localization is so important. Imagine you've got a booth at a show or an expo, and you've decided that you're going to put it all up in English, and yet we're here in Bangkok. You're going to get a large number of Thai people walking past that. If they don't see any Thai, they're not going to stop. Not easily anyway. We expect that, because we're dealing with perhaps C-suite level, internationally educated Thais, that they're going to be okay with that. Well, the thing is that their subconscious is working in Thai. They're having to translate real time, most of them. when they're talking to you, when they're reading any English. So for them to feel confident, it has to be in their mother tongue. That's how you truly engage with people, because if you localize, 83% of people are going to be much more likely to buy into whatever it is that you're trying to sell. It's a much harder sell when it's their second language. And I see this time and time again at expos where, you've got lots of companies flying in from around the globe. It could be, call it an F&B expo. You've got the Japanese coming in, they've got all these beautiful sauces and, sakis and what have you, and everything's in Japanese. They've got a big video screen, a big television screen with a video, and the on-screen text, it's in Japanese. And I look at that and go, who are they selling to here? Because I look at it and go, oh, it's all very pretty. I like the graphics, but I don't understand what you're selling. So that's a major waste of time and money. They may as well have stayed at home. And the people that have gone out and sort of said, okay, let's make sure this is in 2 languages as a minimum. So we're going to do Thai and English. They're the people that get both stopping. And if you've got a lot of international buyers coming in from, use Japan as an example again, then make sure it's in 3 languages, and that includes any handouts, any information, if possible, get people that speak Thai and also Japanese on the platform there. So very, very important. Keep it to English. Great. I'm sure you'll do business. Perhaps not so important if you're internationally facing, but there again, if you're about to go into a new geographic area, you should, all your customer facing assets, from your website down to your correspondence, should be in their mother tongue as much as possible, or at least in both languages, just for a better for better communication. And everyone appreciates comms coming back in their own mother tongue. So I don't know if anyone's got any questions on that, because it's such a massive subject.
Buzz, I mean, on the screen here, you got Llama, is it? Gwen?
Yeah, these are particular AI platforms that you can use. So Llama's, it says it supports 30 languages. Gwen supports 29 languages. What they're saying is that's English to 30 languages. Gwen's English to 29 languages. When you're talking about language pairs, there's hundreds of them. So if you're going from German to Thai, you need to do some tests, and that's why I say it's very important that once you go to your target language, which we'll call it Thai for now for this example, is to take that translation and then put it back in and ask it to translate that back to your source language, call that German, and see if it's the same as what you started with. If it's not, then you've got an issue there. You might want to try 2 or 3 different platforms to see which works best with your particular language pair. That's very, very important. So I think in terms of doing your own localization, if you don't have Thai staff, if you're translating into Thai, then back translate absolutely everything and make that a 2-step process. So English to Thai, and then Thai back to English before you even let yourself loose, putting it on any documents or any social media. That I think is imperative. And if you don't do that, then you could possibly damage your brand. There's nothing worse than bad translation to make your brand look like it's lazy. Yeah, does that answer that?
Yeah, no, indeed, yeah. So, I mean, do we have any additional questions from the attendees. We've had one question already so far. That was about LinkedIn, wasn't it? And the frequency.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
look, I personally, I'd like to find out if everyone knows about Substack because um, some people do, a lot of people don't.
okay, well, let's do this. I mean, if you've heard of Hubstack, put one in the chat. If you haven't, put two.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out.
So let's see if you've heard of Hubstat, let's put one.
Substack, yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, and I'm aware of it, but I haven't really thought of it until Buzz told me last week. So I'm going to put two as well. Okay, Jack's heard of it. A few that haven't. Okay. I mean, this so far. Okay, Tom uses it weekly for years. Brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
Cutting edge, Tom. I like it.
Yeah, Tom's obviously one of the founding members.
He's a founder. Okay, there's a few twos here, Buzz. So, I mean, I would love it if you could jump back out into Substack and just maybe show us a little bit more.
Yeah,
If there's some other
let me
stuff, yeah.
go back over, go back to the last.
I think most people will be familiar with Canva or have at least heard of it because it's
Yeah,
very, very popular.
Canva, I'd be surprised if you haven't.
Mm.
It's just, I think with Canva, it's just really important that you just get on there and use it. It's very, very simple. You type in what you're after. So if it's a LinkedIn carousel, type in LinkedIn carousel, and it'll bring up the uh, the pane that you're going to design within. And just on that, I think it's quite important that everyone knows that once you've done one set, then save that and save it as a copy. So you've got the original and then you've got a copy and you can change, all the different type on that uh, copy that you've saved. And then you've got the background, you've got your brand colors, you've got your logo on there, and you're just changing the type for your next one. So you can speed things up. Once you've done one, it'll get quicker and quicker and quicker. So
Oh, okay. Well, look, I mean, it looks like the majority of people haven't heard or have used Hubstack
Substack,
yet.
brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
Substack, sorry. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we've got time. If you could do
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
pull it up
absolutely.
five
We
more
can go
minutes,
and
just
look
show us
in.
a few tricks, that would be great.
All right, cool. Bear with me a second, and we'll do
And
that.
then whilst you're doing that, at the end, when we finished with Buzz doing another quick demo on
Okay,
Substack,
so
and
let me
then if
clear it.
there's no other questions, I'll just bring up a very quick QR codes for everyone because we've got a line group for the digital kind of webinars. You can join this line group. We can send you updates. We'll share with you the presentations and everything. But there'll also be a second QR code because tomorrow tomorrow at 3 p.m. We have the AustCham SME Day at the Crown
Yeah, that's
Plaza.
gonna be
So
very exciting.
if you haven't signed up for that, that would be fantastic. And we'll put the QR code up at the end. But yeah, Buzz, I'll hand it back to you. You've got 5-10 minutes probably left. Just show
Okay,
us some
great.
stuff. Yeah, show us what you do.
Brilliant. Okay, well, look, I've got my own dashboard here. It's really easy to set up, and what it does is it allows you to see, who's on there. Mine's not been going very long. I've actually got one subscriber already giving me $80 a year, so that's great. Um, and you can choose, you know, whatever you like. So I've just written a little article here for a bit of fun. It was don't know if there's any Star Trek fans out there, but yeah, I came across this really interesting book. It's the autobiography of James T. Kirk, and I thought I'd review the book, but I thought I'd do it in a sort of tongue-in-cheek way. So I basically interviewed Captain Kirk. So if you like that, you might find some of that funny. But with that, I can come down here at the bottom and I go, okay, you've got people can add comments. I can take this away, I can share it. So here, oh, this is quite interesting. I'm not sure if any of you have heard Blue Sky. Perhaps some of you are getting a little bit peeved off with X, with Elon Musk using it as his own, speaking funnel now. So a lot of people are moving to Substack and also to this one here. So if I share to Blue Sky, So hopefully I'm logged in, which I am. And there you go. So I'm gonna post this. It's got the link to Substack. I can add a comment if I wish, and boom, that's gone. So the good thing about this, it started off to be a platform for techie people, and I think in time a lot of people will find out about it and move across from X because they just don't want the politics that's associated with it at the moment. So let's just go back here. Again, I can share it to Facebook. I can share it direct to LinkedIn. I can send it as a message. So I can go, right, okay, I'll send it to let's have a look. I'll send it to John Cleese. There you go. And that's gone off to John Cleese. Let's hope he finds it funny. So basically, this is such a great platform. What I like about it is that, you can publish a podcast on there, which we will be doing very shortly. You can have chats, so you can do that. You can do something called, let me show you. You can do a note. So if you wanna get noticed quickly, I would suggest that you create a note. So you've got text post, video post, audio post. So you can have your script there, and you can do your own kind of voiceover if you want, and then people can just listen to it in the car or whatever. So that's pretty good. You can do a note, so you can say, hey everyone, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing a webinar. And then that will go out. So let's go back here. No, not sent. Okay. Don't know why that is. But you can go back here and you can see all the previous stuff that you've written. You go back to home again. Sorry, computer's a bit slow. And the good thing about this is you can look up whatever you want. So we've looked for John Cleese, find other people on there. So sorry, it's not brought up what I wanted. It's looking within my own library here. Sorry about that. Anyway, I think you get the general idea with this one. It's just a really good platform for finding other people to read about, get your own stuff out there. It's an alternative to LinkedIn, but use it as a repository for your own stuff. Come back, take bits out. It's just so easy to author something on this that it makes writing an absolute pleasure, to be quite frank. If you like writing in short form, even in note form, these are the notes. So there's my note there about mental availability. Okay, you'll find notes like this on there. It's just go and have an explore around. It's very, very interesting. And from that, obviously, make Canva your next best friend. As I said, anything that you do with AI, double check the facts on there. Perplexity is probably the one to use. Has everyone heard of Perplexity? I hope so. That is looking for information across the internet. So it's looking at articles, libraries, it's looking into different areas to data find that information and corroborate it. So hopefully everything that Perplexity puts back to you will be a good source for verifying what your AI tool has given you. Again, you can just go onto Google and do it that way, but I think Perplexity is a bit quicker.
Brilliant. So Buzz, we do have another question.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can pronounce the name correctly. Karanan, I think. Question is, do you have any techniques for using AI to help write content? I often encounter the problem that the language I write doesn't sound natural and robotic.
Yes,
So
this
it's all
is,
prompts, isn't it?
yeah,
So
well,
how you put those prompts together.
no, the other thing is that I think it's very, very important. And being business owners or working SMEs, if you're part of the HR hiring team, you'll find that a lot of resumes are now being written by AI, and they're becoming very samey. And there's now software such as Quillbot, which can scan a resume and tell you if it's been written by AI. Okay, so my advice is for anyone using AI for any kind of writing is to take the writing and re-edit whatever it's given you. So use it as a base by all means, or you know, it will come up with some ideas. So if I talk to you very briefly about when I interview someone and how that interview ends up being an editorial on my magazine, that might help you a little bit. So, okay, so I record people and I take notes and I come back, I do a transcription, I get my transcription, I'll get Claude to then turn that into some key points, notes, and phrases within the whole interview. So I'll look at that and I'll go, okay, yep, I remember those points, or I don't. And then what I'll do is I will then write my own version of the interview, and then I will add that to whatever Claude's got. So Claude's got the transcript. It's already said to me. I said to Claude, "Hey, give me, the main points of the interview, whatever quotes you can that sound interesting." Um, that comes back to me. I then put it back in and say, "Claude, this is what I've written. Can you suggest any changes?" And then it will come back and it will say, "Right, would you like those changes implemented?" So it's given me a bunch of changes, and I'll say, "Go on, implement them," and then I will take that outputted editorial, and then I'll go through it and make sure that that's got my own voice. Sometimes it uses hackneyed terms, like, I try and think of something off the top of my head. Yeah, engendered, or I don't know, it uses some kind of language that if it's not part of your own vocabulary, is what I'm saying, don't let Claude take over. Make sure it's part of your vernacular, your vocabulary, so you've got your tone of voice. um you know so going back to sort of prompts, how can I get better output from AI? Well, the most important thing is when you start, you pretend that you're talking to a child that knows nothing about what's inside your head. So you will write a really, really in-depth prompt. And this, if you want something that's kind of semi-polished, this is the way I would do it. I would sit there and say, "Hey, Claude, right, I would like you to help me. You are my editorial assistant, and you're going to help me write an editorial piece on how easy it is to build an SME business in Bangkok." Now, here's a little bit about me and my background. So you say, right, so I am a creative director. I've had a lot of experience in photojournalism. I'm also a keen writer. I would like you to write in the tone of voice that has a certain amount of tongue in cheek, so it's not too serious. I would like to have lots of quotes in there from this piece that I did before. I will share with you, and I would like a focus on, you know, building a SME business in Bangkok. Let's start there and then we can ask each other questions. And that would be my starting point. I'll see what comes out and then I'll go back and go, great. Okay, I think you've missed the point. Can you embellish a bit more about the challenges involved, the language issues involved? And then I put that to Claude and Claude go, oh yes, I didn't see it from that point of view. Let me add that now. And then you build up over maybe 4 or 5 prompts to get something that you can take away and then just go through and edit and ensure that you are putting your tone of voice in it. As I said before, fact check anything that comes out from Claude that you haven't put in, and make sure that you're happy with it and it's polished. But Claude or ChatGPT is very good for doing your grammar and just adding some suggestions. So I don't know if that helps or not.
Yeah, no, I think that was good, Buzz. I think hopefully that helps answer that question. I mean, for my what you can also do, you can also ask the AI, ChatGPT or Claude, whoever you're using, what's the best way for me to prompt you to get what I
Yeah,
need? You can ask AI. AI will come back and actually help you tell you what to ask. Another tip that I use is similar to Buzz, but I'll add in, please ask me questions to get the information you need. And it will bullet point some questions for you and you'll answer those before it then comes back with that first draft of the content. So there's different things you can do to ask AI to help you to then ask AI again. So it can help you to put those prompts together and ask you
yeah.
questions and everything. So brilliant.
And
Okay. Were there any other?
I just
Oh,
want
sorry,
to add
Buzz.
one more tip because I think that's very important what you just mentioned there, Stu. Um, you can also tell the AI, and this is quite weird, you can also tell the AI to take its time, okay, to come up with the best suggestions, because it's working very, very quickly to try and get everything out.
That's perfect, Buzz. I've just sorry, can you still hear me, Buzz?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. I've just changed the share over. Hopefully everyone can see that now for the SME Day and the AustCham digital group. Can everyone see that?
yeah, I can see that. That's all
Fantastic.
good.
So do we have any final questions from anyone?
Uh,
So oh, we've got a little bit in the chat. Is there anything in there, Buzz?
let's have a quick look. Q&A, nothing.
Just to reiterate, everyone, there's a QR code on the left for the SME Day tomorrow. Tickets still available, selling fast. And then we have the AustCham Digital Group. So if you're online, which most of us are over here, join that group. In that group, we'll share the presentation from today. And Buzz also has put together a very helpful printout for you, like a PDF document that you can use to follow through some of the processes that Buzz has worked through today.
Yeah, so there's just a little handout. It's just a recap on the main points, just to point you in the right direction. But do try and connect with me on LinkedIn or any other platform that you work on. And if you need any help, very happy to do so. So yeah, do let us know.